Well, Cleveland's airport director is not backing down, still opposing plans for a new Browns stadium, saying it is too tall. But the team's outside expert is confident the project will reach takeoff. News 5's Michelle Jarboe is following through from Hopkins for us tonight.
Hi, Katie. Yes, Brian Francis sat down with reporters for the first time since the debate over the airspace around here went public just a few weeks ago. This is Bryant Francis, but this video isn't from today. Cleveland's top airport official wouldn't go on camera this morning, which is why you'll see lots of video of planes in this story instead. During a meeting with reporters, Francis stood his ground, saying the new stadium, planned on the other side of the freeway here, would be a safety risk for pilots, travelers, and airport operations. Here's a quick recap of where things stand. The Federal Aviation Administration questioned the height of the stadium, but ultimately signed off on the project in the spring. Then, Ohio's Department of Transportation disagreed, siding with Hopkins, saying the stadium is 58 feet too tall and can't move forward as planned. Francis told me today that he doesn't plan to change his position, and that airport officials on the Browns haven't even been talking about this.
Made our experts available to ODOT directly.
So I talked to Kenneth Quinn, an aviation lawyer working on the stadium.
We're happy to have that same dialogue with the airport director.
But he said the Browns aren't wavering in their position either.
We don't believe any changes are necessary, adequate, or required whatsoever.
Rejecting ODOT's suggestions to cut the stadium's height or move it.
Do you believe there's a way to find some sort of compromise on this?
We think the FAA's decision is well-founded and ought to be respected.
A position one local aviation lawyer and pilot I talked to disagrees with.
This is where the problem becomes if you have to do a right-hand turn out here.
Jason Lorenzon says ODOT and Hopkins have standing here. He thinks this project will happen, but the Browns might have to budge.
FAA does their own analysis, which they've done a good job at, and so is Cleveland Hopkins, and somewhere in the middle, have to kind of figure out, well, how are we going to do this safely?
Meanwhile, the Browns are pushing back on Hopkins, which Cleveland owns.
You know, you have the mayor who appoints the director of the port control, obviously opposing anything that would have a stadium outside of the city boundaries.
And trying to convince state aviation officials to change tax.
So I think that's probably not a good policy, and I'm sure ODOT's revisiting that approach.
Now, ODOT is still negotiating with the Browns, and so far, the team's consultants haven't asked for a formal hearing on this dispute. And Katie, we learned this week there's no firm timeline for them to do that.
I know. We know you will stay on it, Michelle. Thank you so much for your reporting tonight.